What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another Total Warhammer video for you guys today. Another zesty battle today happening in the Vampire Coast map. I love this map. Galleon's Graveyard. It's probably one of my favorite maps, to be honest. We are playing as the Lizardmen versus, well, obviously the Vampire Coast. So our forces, we've got a couple of large dinos. We've got an Ancient Sally. We've got a Feral Carnosaur and a Salamander Hunting Pack over here hidden in the woods. As for our main force, we've got three groups of Saurus Spears with shields, a standard group of Skink cohorts, and a Bastillodon with a solar engine, as well as a Slan Mage Priest of the Fire class, and in reserve, in Vanguard deployed, we've got the Ripperdactyl Riders and the Colossodon Hunters. As for my opponent's forces, he's got two groups of the Shade Wraith Gunners, he's got a bunch of Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, just some standard ones. He also has the Bloody Reaver Deck Guard, which are Depth Guard Regiment of Renown. Some more polearm Deckhand mobs at the back here. He also has another group here. He's got a Queen Bess, a Carronade, the Night Terror Mongols, and Count Noctilus on his Necrofex Colossus. So guys, let's get the match underway. Straight away, we send the Colossodon Hunters straight into Count Noctilus. He's a large unit, so we're trying to shut that down. And we're also trying to shut down Queen Bess ASAP, because she will tear our infantry forces alive. But we've got the Ripperdactyl Riders in here. They are dealing quite a lot of damage to the Bloody Reaver Deck Guard. Unfortunately, we do get surrounded on this side with the Colossodon Hunters, by Count Noctilus, by the Night Terrors, by the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. And that's enough to finish them off pretty much. You can see there they're wavering. The Night Terrors did a lot of damage to us. But we do manage to shut down Queen Bess, I believe. But you can see the Shade Wraith Gunners do turn tail, and these things are ridiculous. I did not realize these guys dealt so much damage. I know the normal Deck Gunners don't really deal too much damage, but these guys just deal a crap ton of it. And just like that, our Ripperdactyl Riders and Colossodon Hunters are pretty much shot off the battlefield. There's nothing left of them. Queen Bess herself is gone though, which is great. She's disintegrated. I mean, that was a pretty worthy sacrifice, I think. There's still the Carronade online, and there's still these big boys going. But we're slowly moving our forces up. We've got those guys moving over that way. We've got these guys moving in the forest. The whole plan was to try and get a sneaky attack on them. I probably should have held off engaging. You can see here we do send them out of the forest to start engaging. And yeah, a bit of a mistake on my part, because I should have just waited till we actually got the main force here, because that would have made things a little bit easier for us. Ancient Salamander is taking a huge amount of damage. You can just see his health disintegrate into nothing. And just like that, the Ancient Sally, he's pretty much dead. 640, 530, he's pretty much gone. The standard Salamander Hunting Pack are still here. They're still firing off, dealing a decent amount of damage, but these guys will easily out-damage them, and you can see they start opening fire. Things aren't looking too hot for us. Our Feral Carnosaur on the other side, he's running around. He's trying to outflank this Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, and we are also trying to outflank the Night Terrors to try to get to Count Noctilus, because the Feral Carnosaur does have the anti-large capabilities. He's going to deal a bit of decent damage to Count Noctilus. Meanwhile, our main force is sitting here. I don't know why we decided to let them sit there for, and why we didn't just actually move them up. You saw just then we did decide to move them up. Salamander Hunting Packs still firing off in here. Didn't do too much damage. I think an Invocation of the Heck went down and actually healed them. That's what it looks like. Does Count Noctilus have Invocation of the Heck? I think he does. So you can see things aren't looking too hot for us here. That front is pretty much gone. Feral Carnosaur, he's doing a pretty decent amount of damage to Count Noctilus. Count Noctilus has popped a couple of buffs, and we are surrounded by the Bloody Reaver Deck Guards. So we're in a bit of a pickle here for the Feral Carnosaur. But yeah, things aren't looking too hot for us either way. Slan Mage Priest is finally in range. I've been used to playing SFO, where these guys actually have a ranged attack that does like a solid chunk of damage. And I forgot that they don't have that in the standard game. So we do get him a little bit too close, and I think the Bastillodon with the solar engine was probably a bit of a mistake here. But we do get him opening fire on Count Noctilus, trying to deal as much damage as we can. These guys are fighting the main front line here, but a pit of shades going down, absolutely eating into our Saurus Spears, which is unfortunate. And the Slan Mage Priest, he's under fire as well. Flame Vortex coming down here on top of Count Noctilus. Probably not the best cast, especially since all his troops ran off. If they fed this way into like the Murngulls and the Depth Guard, that would have been really good. Instead, it just goes into nothing. Banishment coming down here on the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, and a Shield of the Old Ones dropping on the Skink cohort and Saurus Spears as well. or if Quetzal dropped as well, because our Slime Mage Priest is taking a bit of damage here. You can see he's under constant fire from Count Noctilus himself. The Mongols are coming in as well, which is a big danger. And a big, I can't remember what that spell's called, big bombardment, I think it is, comes down on our skink cohorts as well. We do start backing this Slayer Mage Priest away, because these Mongols will tie us into position and do some serious damage to us. And these freaking Shade Wraith Gunners, they're doing so much damage to us. Ridiculous. Count Noctilus, he's taking a pretty chunk of damage from the Bastillodon. And I don't know what we're casting here. Is this us? Blood Statuette of Spite, that is us, I think. No, that wasn't us. That was the opponent. I think we cast, yeah, Flaming Sword of Ruin, which, as you can see, is doing an absolutely splendid job on the skink cohort, because they're running away from the Mongols. Another Pit of Shades dropping on the rest of these Saurus. They're pretty much GG. They're over. That's pretty much our main force. We're pretty much done for. Count Noctilus, he's still really healthy. No chance of surviving this one. Slime Mage Priest just drops. He's shattered. Army losses. And it's pretty much GG for us here. And my opponent wins. So those Shade Wraith Gunners, they absolutely won him the game there. Because they just shredded our Ancient Sallies, our Salamander Hunting Pack. We just got destroyed by him. Our army wasn't that great. I think the Ripidactyl Riders that we got to shut down Queen Bess was really good. That would have cost us even more if we didn't shut that down first. But everything else was kind of just crappy. I mean, this was alright for Shade, like for chaff, to deal with the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. But the Pit of Shades going down just absolutely tore us apart. So guys, this is the first battle today. We're going to jump into the second battle, which was, I was pretty much like, you know what, dude, let's go another one. I don't want to end it on that note. That was such a shitty battle. Let's end it on a slightly more positive note. So you guys will get to see the slightly more positive note now. Alrighty guys, I said we'd end things on a more positive note. Well, this is our more positive note. A Cygor and a Bree Shaman of the Beasts. So guys, we are the Beastmen, and if you're already looking in the top of the map, well, you're in for a surprise. We Vanguard deployed pretty much our entire army behind my opponent. This has to be, like, no joke, one of my favorite builds. It is so damn satisfying getting an entire Vanguard deployment on your opponent when they had no idea. Look at this, like, Helm's Deep trench he's made with miners. Protecting his artillery, well, surprise, we're coming in from behind. So the Beastmen, as you know, a lot of their units can Vanguard deploy. And we didn't actually know that this map would have the Vanguard deployment. Luckily it did, otherwise we would have been screwed. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be good news for us. So real quick, let's just go over our army before the match continues. We've got a couple of Centaurs, we've got some Gore Herds. Pretty much our forces are Gore Herds and Gore Herd Shields. We've got some Centaurs with throwing axes. We've got two groups of the Ungor Raiders. And as you can see, my opponent has a lot of artillery, a lot of miners with blasting charges, some Iron Drakes, and that's pretty much it, and flame cannons. Khazrak is taking a whole heap of blasting charges to the face like an absolute beast, but the cannon and everything else is also taking a huge amount of damage, so it's not too much of a downside. We do pop Apocalyptic Vision, Deadly Onslaught, Scourge. However, we are fighting Gotrek and, Felix and Beleive. So we're going to be taking a lot of damage from them. And you can see that Khazrak is pretty much destroyed. He took a lot of damage in that time. Bree Shaman is coming in. He's got the Jag Dagger. We've got the Cygor thrown in as well, providing a little bit of rear support into whatever he can hit. And the Iron Drakes are the first to take that hit. And they get a charge in as well. So things are looking pretty good. We do pop Wyson's Wild Form here, giving us extra 30% weapon damage, extra 30 armor. So as you can see, the balance of power has already shifted massively into my favor, and we're only a minute in. This is probably one of my favorite builds to play. Vanguard deployed Beastmen. So you can see the Centaurs with throwing axes are thrown in here. The Archers are firing in as well. He does manage to get some Iron Drakes back online, so fair play to my opponent for doing that. But it's a very short, sweet victory. Khazrak does manage to come back as well. Felix has taken quite a beating. We wanted to get the Gore Herd into this main chunk of the force here to try and deal some damage. We also wanted to try and shut down these Iron Drakes because they will be doing a lot of damage if we let them do that. So we bring some Centaurs around back, and you can see we get a charge into them as soon as these miners get out of the freaking way. Can you guys, like, move for me, please? So we're getting into the Iron Drakes to shut them down, and a lot of my opponent's forces are starting to rout here. So the Ungors and the Centaurs are throwing into Beleive and Felix. They're taking the damage, which is what we want to see. Some more Iron Drakes and Flame Cannons are firing in. But they're about to get a rear charge again by the Centaurs. Look at that, straight in the backsides of them. And yeah, we've got the Cygor providing the extra support in. And it's pretty much going to be GG here for my opponent. Kazarak coming back in. What a madman. Just getting his butt back in here. He's on like 10 health. He's coming back in. We do pop another Apocalyptic Vision, Deadly Onslaught, and what is the other one? We do pop something else. Curse of Aranahi as well, going down on Beleive to try and take him out. And that's probably from our Bray Shaman. And the rest of my opponent's forces shatter. And just like that, we have victory in under 3 minutes. Look at that. So guys, that was our last sort of game that night that we played. And oh, I just felt so satisfying pulling that off. I just loved it. So yeah, that was a 2-for-1 for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more. Let me know what sort of builds you guys want to see. If there are any that you do want to see. This is, like I said, one of my favorite builds. Only downside of the Beastmen is that they can be rather squishy sometimes and they don't have the best leadership. But other than that, it was a lot of fun to play that one. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.